One of the longest running home buying misconceptions is that if you buy direct from the listing agent, you'll save a lot of money on your home purchase. If you stick with me here, I'll show you why this idea is dangerously wrong. Not only will you not save money, but you'll most likely lose money and more. The basis of this belief is this. Most buyers think that if there's no buyer's agent, that the seller, whether we're talking about a builder or a homeowner, will have an extra 3% or more to give back to the buyer. It's not true. Here's why. The homeowner or builder signs a contract with the listing broker, promising the listing broker a commission, usually between 5 and 7% of the sales price. The listing broker promises to split this commission with the buyer's broker, if there is one. So if the buyer comes unrepresented, the contract promises the entire commission to the listing broker. You see, the owner or builder doesn't have any extra money for negotiations. They've promised it to the listing broker for doing all the work on both the listing and the selling side of the transaction. Here's what else the contract says. The listing broker promises to work exclusively in the seller's best interest. What that means is this. If you come directly to the listing agent, his duty is to reach as far into your pocket as possible to get the most money for his client. He won't be able to point out potential negative aspects to the property. He won't be able to provide you with recent sold comparables to ensure you aren't overpaying. And he won't be able to advise you on how much may be customary for the seller to pay in closing costs or other incentives that might reduce the seller's profit. He can't. It's the law. And that's not all. Let's say the builder or seller discounts the home for you by 3%, claiming it's because they don't have to pay a buyer's broker. Great deal, right? Not if the seller's been negotiating to 95% on top of paying for the buyer's representation. You really just lost 2%. And what if the listing agent convinces you not to ask for closing costs, but the builder has paid closing costs in the past? You just lost another 3 to 3.5%. What if the builder has been giving free upgrades or free basement finishes? But again, the listing agent working in the seller's best interest convinced you that your offer wouldn't be competitive if you asked for that. You just lost another large chunk of money. Now, what if the 20-acre horse pasture behind the property just sold to a developer who is breaking ground on a super Walmart and Home Depot within the next 90 days? It's definitely not in the builder's or seller's best interest for the listing agent to disclose this little tidbit. So what have you lost now? If you're not planning on living in this home for the rest of your life, this home is going to be a resale nightmare. Remember, the listing agent can't tell you these things. They just can't. It wouldn't be in the seller's best interest. If you're like most buyers, your home purchase is one of the largest investments you'll ever make. And it makes no sense to risk this investment by not having someone represent you and your interest in this transaction. So whether it's Team Win or someone else, we strongly encourage you to hire someone you can trust to represent you, your family, and your finances.